Hello, my dear students. From Value Education, we are going to see lesson number 3, Happiness Lies in Contentment. Okay, the proverb says by Oscar Wilde that nowadays people know the price of everything, but they do not know the value of nothing. So here, greed based need. Greed is how? If we think about it, we will realize that we can really live without so many things. If you will keep deep thinking, you will realize that you can live without so many things that we feel are so important in life. Okay, like nowadays the lockdown is going on, so we know that we can still live in home very happily without being wasting our time here and there. Many of us have mobile phones. Each company selling these phones advertises the new features that have been introduced in the new model. Every 15 days you will find the new technique mobile is coming to the market. For those of you who have a mobile phone, do you really use all the features that are in the phone? This is a question to be thought of. Do we use all the features which are available in our phone? You will realize that you don't even use 20% of its existing features. Always we see that young children, they demand for the new advanced mobile phone to their parents, but if you will think deeply that neither you can use at least 20% of the existing features from your phone, then what is the point in adding more features? We reach in a similar manner to so many things in life. We try to accumulate much more than we actually require. Means we are not at all happy with what do we have, but we try to accumulate, we try to get many more things for ourselves. Greed is like a very tasty food. Means your greed is like a tasty food. Too little leaves you hungry. If you will eat less of that food, you will feel that you are hungry, but if you will eat too much, it can be fatal and it is very dangerous for your health. You have to decide on the limits of your needs and work within those limits. Means you have to set your own priorities and you have to work for it. This way you will get enough of everything. Then only your mind will be satisfied with what you have. Greed is infinite and never enough. Your greed never gets end. It is infinite. It goes and goes on. One must try to learn saying, okay, it is enough for me. You must know what are your priorities and you must know when to say okay for your limited things. If you practice that, you will soon have enough of everything. When you will understand the importance of enough things in your life, that will be good for you. Can we drink the whole ocean? Can you drink the whole ocean even if we are very thirsty? A cup of water from the spring is all that we need. If you are very thirsty, but that time also even you can't drink the whole ocean, that time a cup of little water is also spring to fill your thirst. Think of the things that you have at home and how many of these you used in the last 6 months. It may surprise you to find out that you required actually very few of them. None of them were so important that your life depended on them. Imagine having a watch costing 2 lakh rupees. Another example, if you'll buy a watch which is costing nearly 2 lakh rupees, will it make the person wearing this watch more punctual? Means the person who has 2 lakh rupees watch, will he be punctual on his work? A person wearing an expensive watch may still come late for an appointment, but unless he don't make change in his life, he will come late only in the meeting or for any of the things, though he has 2 lakh rupees watch in his hand. Okay, just think about it. Therefore, most of the time we have greed based needs which are not required for us, still we keep it in ourselves. Now, living in a world of materialism and consumerism, then in the last 2 decades the availability of goods and mass advertising has given rise to consumerism. means consumers have become more. People have started believing that possessing things can make them happy, means to buy more and more things will make them happy. We also have started relating these materialistic goods to our respect, prestige and status also. Means people think that they should have big house, they should have car, they should have expensive things in their houses. They think that they should have more advanced brand mobiles, tv sets, etc., etc., that they will respect, they will gain the respect and prestige from the society. We get lured by new models of cars, tv sets, mobile phones, branded clothes and so on. At times we could be led to believe that material prosperity can bring us happiness, but in fact it is quite the contrary. These materials can bring happiness in your life for a shorter time, but it is not permanent. Acquisition of goods give rise to envy, jealousy, greed and a sense of false comfort. These things bring all these things in us. It promotes individualism, which give rise to selfishness and lack of compassion with the other. It makes us lose sense of right or wrong also. When we are jealous about any of the other thing, then it loses your sense that what is right and what is wrong. We have to remember that we consider prized possessions today becomes our junk tomorrow. If you will compare the price of any of the thing in today's life, it's going to be a junk in tomorrow's life. These things are soon discarded and never to be seen or used again. So we must have nice things, but we should be able to exercise control on ourselves. Means we should know what is actually required for our life. You will be surprised to know that despite all that purchasing power and availability of goods, today we love lesser than we did 50 years ago. 50 years ago people had limited things with them, but they were very very happy. Though after 50 years we got lots of things, but we have forgotten to laugh. In the last 10 years our social capital has come down also. People take less interest in community work, family get togetherness and relationship building, because they are busy in buying all the materialistic things. Now the impact of advertisements on our lives. With television reaching every home, every family, they got a good brand of television in their home. And with the internet and telecom revolution today, we are faced with a barrage of advertisement which sometimes play a negative role in our lives also. You would have noticed that when you watch TV for 1 hour, you have to forcibly see advertisement which are related to the products for more than 20 minutes as commercial break. These commercials actually influence, they make effect of our choice of purchase, and many times even they mislead people. Means though people have influence of the advertisement on them, though they do not require the things, still they mislead themselves and they buy the things. In the West, the fast food industry spends more than billions of dollars every year on advertising. These advertisements are basically targeting children who are below 18 years of age. Having fast food occasionally may be all right, but these advertisements influence the children to eat only fast food, which is very harmful for their health. Children are easily influenced by flashy pictures and punchlines. For example, a toy manufacturer will create a monkey called Tojo. Soon they will create more 100 different types of monkeys and launch a campaign on it. You have to catch them all. This will influence children to buy cheaply made toys at a very steep price to collect all those 100 monkeys. Thereafter, some new products is again launched and children get after a new craze that the company creates. In fact, children are any marketer's delight because they are easily influenced to buy their products also. Now the story of the greedy carpenter. There was a greedy carpenter, Lalchi. God has given him enough to live well. Means he had good well to do and to live. He had a nice home, a beautiful wife, and two sons. But he was not satisfied with what he had and was not even grateful to God for what was given to him. So he made a beautiful wooden statue and presented it to the king. The king was very happy and asked him for his wish. He wanted his own farm, so he asked the king to give him land. The king took him to the top of a hill one morning and said, "This entire kingdom is mine. You can take as much land as you can cover by running on your foot. But on one condition, you will start from here, go in a circle, and come back right here when I am standing, and it must be before the sunset." So the carpenter started his journey next morning. He kept on running faster and faster, making the circle as big as possible. Till it was afternoon. It had by now become very hot, but the carpenter wanted more and more land, and therefore never even paused to drink water to or have food. He kept running till it was very late in the afternoon. When he turned to go back to the point where the king was standing, he found to his horror that the sun was about to set. He ran as fast as he could, but he was very exhausted. So he kept looking at the sun and the king while running. Eventually he collapsed and he died because of exhaustion. So from this story we understand that greediness is very bad. Then we have something to learn from nature. Nature teaches us the balancing act. Means the nature, it teach us how we have to be balanced in our life. A plant will absorb only as much water as it needs. It will not take an ounce more or an ounce less. Even animals never overeat. Those of you who have dogs at home would have noticed that once the dog is satisfied, no amount of forcing will make him eat more. It is we humans who tend to stuff ourselves and overeat if the food is tasty or if there is a celebration or of a special occasion. When we go against nature by being greedy, it also affects us mentally and psychologically. When our over ambitious and unrealistic demands are not met, then it can also lead to feeling of frustration, depression, and mental disorders. Means people, when they keep the over ambitions in their life which are unrealistic demand, then that time if they do not get into it or they do not find the way, then they go into depressions, frustrations, and mental disorders. Unfortunately, today most of us are becoming unrealistic about our requirements and are falling prey to disease and mental disorders. Means we are going against the nature. Now more is not enough. There was a stone cutter who was dissatisfied with himself and with his position in life. One day he passed a wealthy merchant's house. Through the open gateway he saw many fine possessions. How powerful that merchant must be, thought the stone cutter. I wish I could be a merchant. Soon he became a wealthy merchant, enjoying more luxurious and power that he had over imagined. One day a high official passed by, carried in a sedan chair, accompanied by attendants and soldiers. Everyone, no matter how wealthy, had to bow low before him. How powerful that official is. He thought, I wish I could be a high official. He became a high official, feared by all. It was a hot summer day, so the official felt very uncomfortable in the sticky sedan chair. He looked up at the sun. It shone proudly in the sky. How powerful the sun is, he thought, and I wish I could be the sun. Then he became the sun, shining fearlessly down on everyone, but a huge black cloud moved between him and the earth, so that his light could no longer shine on everything below. How powerful that storm could be, cloud is. He thought, I wish I could be a cloud. Then he became the cloud, flooding the fields and villages. But soon he found that he was being pushed away by some great force and realized that it was the wind. How powerful the wind is, he thought. I wish I could be the wind. Then he became the wind, blowing tiles off the roofs of houses, uprooting trees, feared and hated by all below him. But after a while, he ran up against something that would not move, no matter how forcefully he blew against it, a huge towering rock. How powerful that rock is. He thought, I wish I could be a rock. Then he became the rock, more powerful than anything else on earth. But as he stood there, he heard the sound of a hammer pounding a chisel into the hard surface and felt himself being cut and changed. What could be more powerful than I, the rock? He thought. I looked down and saw far below him the figure of a stone cutter who was slowly and steadily cutting the rock into small pieces. Then the bliss of contentment. A man was sitting under a tree on a beach and was contentedly grilling two fish on a small fire. A rich, well dressed tourist passed by and asked him what he was doing. The man said that he was grilling fish for his lunch. The tourist asked him why he caught only two and not four. The man asked him, what will I do with four of them? The tourist said, you can eat two and sell the other two to make money. The man asked the tourist, what will I do with the money? The tourist replied, you can buy a boat and get a huge amount of fish to work for you. Amount of fish which will get you lots of money, and you can then employ people to work for you. The man asked him, what will happen then? The tourist said, you will have plenty of money and time, and you can do whatever you like doing the most. But by the way, what do you like doing the most? Then the man replied on him, I love grilling and eating two fish, which I am already doing. So the moral of this story is that our needs are limited. Means the needs in our life are always limited, but we accumulate much more than we require. But we always try to get more and more things in our life which are not actually required. So we should be happy with the things what we have with us. Sorry. So this is the story about the thing. So listen to the video carefully and try to find the answers.